this Bayern Munich side looked brilliant. I thought that game at the Emirates was one of the games of the season because it was real tactical quality against real technical quality with a mixture of flair and power, and Arsenal overcame them. One other day, Bayern, that first half, I thought looked quite good. And over 2 legs, I think our football makes us a match for anyone. But in a final, I worry that individual quality will tell. And actually, you could argue that individual quality, you can't suppress it in 180 minutes, whereas maybe 90 you can. So I don't know. I have my concerns. But I think we're always in a game. What I say, our best we're here, but our worst we're here. I think we're always in a game with teams. So we've definitely got a chance of this competition. But I don't think we're going to ever look like the best team in it, if that makes any sense. I don't think anyone's going to watch us and go, yeah, they're the best side in Europe. But we might just have a brand of football that keeps us in every game and gives us a chance.
And CJ, I mean, it's important to win for obvious reasons to get through to the next round. But, I mean, a morale-boosting win as well. Going back now to the bread and butter Premier League on Saturday. You know, the Emirates now maybe won't be as nervy as what it would have been after that Southampton game, but everyone now can just take a big sigh of relief and try and get back to winning ways in the win again in the Premier League.
Yeah, it draws a line under the sand in the last 2 cup games. Like, the performance was there and you earned your luck and you obviously won. Portugal is a difficult place to go to. Sporting Lisbon's a difficult team. You've come through it. You've knocked it on its head now. Now, the key thing is to enjoy tonight, take the good and make it great. Focus on Bournemouth, focus on the second leg against these lot, and obviously do what you need to do against City. Again, this is the reaction we wanted. We had to sit in those negative feelings in the League Cup. We then came back, FA Cup was poor. We needed this win, and you saw in Arteta's emotion, and, you know, unpopular opinion, they say my boys and my manager doesn't care. It might even mean too much to them. So somewhat of a weight is lifted. Get back to England, focus on Areola's men in Bournemouth, and let's just keep fighting to have a good time at the end of the season, if I'm honest.
Bournemouth's a big one.
Bournemouth's massive test.
Huge.
Areola's a serious
Every game's
manager.
huge now. We're out of the 2 cups, and these are the 2 we're being judged on the most. Don't get me wrong. I was gutted to lose that final. I was gutted to lose the FA Cup game the way we did. But if Arsenal had not won the others and won an FA Cup,
you know what they'd say?
I think there'd still be a lot of eyes going, yeah, okay, nice, a trophy, but we're being judged on the 2 big ones, and I'm really glad we came back with something of a response performance and certainly a response result.
Yeah, I'm still seeing people on social media throughout the game saying stuff, we touched on the top of the show about, the style of football, being a bit critical of Arteta, let the handbrake off. But, I mean, Mikel Arteta now can look at that, go into his post-match interview, can look everyone in the eye and say, that was a tactical masterclass.
That's people engagement.
Away from home, clean sheet. We've gone away from home against a team that have been in great form, especially at home. Clean sheet and a victory.
And we've risked it as well. Like the trade-off we've actually played with a bit more invention, bravery and intention today. And you saw Sporting have half chances. I understand all of those statements, but it does feel like people don't watch the game. They just say the same old buzzwords and engagement hype. There's no way you could look at that today and say, go ridiculously gun-ho, leave spaces. It was 2 good managers.
And also, you know that Arteta's just not going to do that.
Exactly, and it doesn't make sense because Sporting have given a great account of themselves. Again, I think even their manager, he's been a manager for 8 years and he's obviously done great things for Sporting. At least just be a bit fair. Like, when there's conditions to be attacking and all of that, we'll go and do that. Today wasn't that. We've earned our luck. That is something we want to see from the gaffer.
I think it's more the Bournemouth game. Like, if you were going to go a bit more out there, like, I think that's probably the one to do it when you're at home. Like,
I hear it, but I think if anybody's seen Bournemouth...
He's not going to do it anyway. Like,
if anyone's seen Bournemouth and Areola, you've got to be very careful. That's a chess match.
But you're more likely to do that at home than you are being...
Oh, 1 million%. Yeah, 100%.
Why does context go out the window sometimes with these? It's like... Southampton's a one-off game. Southampton's a one-off game. All the respect in the world to them, they were brilliant on the day, but championship opposition, the winner that day goes through. So you've got to play with a slightly different intensity, with a slightly different demand to get the game done in that 90 minutes. Tonight, you can lose 1-0 and still go through. So it's a very different requirement. I'm not saying a 1-0 defeat's good. I'm not saying a 0-0 something to be happy about, which I tend to be. But it's a different context. You're playing with this element of like, there is still another 90 to go. Yes, go for it. But don't end up 2-0 down because actually you've been sloppy defensively. Things will happen.
Don't throw your hand in before the time comes.
I do think the performances when it's come to Carabao Cup and the FA Cup have been very, very disappointing.
Below par.
Absolutely.
Well, not for me, but if I was you too.
Very below par.
Yeah.
Very below
and
par.
I do think that considering where you are at and you are expected to, even though it was Man City, it's not the same City, respectfully, it's not. And I just think that you were expected. I didn't really feel like a lot of Arsenal fans thought you weren't going to win that.
I actually didn't think we were.
You didn't think you were going to win that?
No. Every prediction I was asked, I kept saying 2-2 and I wouldn't answer the rest.
Why?
Well, how long have we
Scared.
got? But no,
About 5 minutes.
4.5 minutes, to be
4.5
precise.
minutes.
no. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. Everything I've said. We don't dominate teams, and every team's in a game with us. And when you look at some of the wins and drop points, Brentford, they dominated the first half against us. Wolves, they dominated the second half against us. Brighton had more of the ball. Everton, I thought, had some really good chances in that game at the Emirates. We won 2 of those. We drew 2 of the others. But they weren't that different in terms of the games. So I thought City, if they were on it, I thought Pep Guardiola as well, there was going to be a different pressure. 9 points behind in the Premier League title race, out of the Champions League. I think they would have seen as the Carabao Cup as like a really big deal, even though we did, because we haven't won a trophy for 6 years. I think for this season in isolation, there's
The only thing I found strange with the City was not the original setup. Was more.
I thought they were going to show up.
Was
Basically,
more how he responded to going behind. Like I was sort of almost waiting for Arsenal when they went behind to try and be then a little bit more aggressive.
But why?
And try and because you're losing, you have to try and get back in the game.
And I completely agree with that.
I
But
think you've got to take more risks when you're losing games.
100%. But Arsenal this season have found it very difficult to overturn when momentum's against us. We're not very good at like doing the Fergie thing of like flicking switch, and now suddenly it's going to be 10 minutes of all of us going for it. Like, we don't really do that. I can't remember.
You're quite slow in that sense. Like, it's quite very methodical and thought out.
We can't turn it on and off like a tap. We just don't do that. Against Southampton, we equalised and we still didn't build on it.
You see this straight away.
They should have been shook at that point. Okay, they've finally got their goal. Now here we go, hang in there.
Yeah.
If anything, they grew back into it.
This is where I look at the players as well. As much as it's about tactics and things of that ilk, the
players have got to
individuals
step up.
always make. This is where I like my players. I'm never going to sit here and bash them. But if we want to be something we've never been, if we want to get somewhere we've never been, then everyone has to be something they've never been in. That's where I'm looking at my players. You're very good, but to be a great team, there's, like you said, like James said, the fine margins went for us. There's also equally, as he also said, times where it's gone left and we're doing the ifs and buts thing. Like we had possession, we had dominance.
Yeah.
If this happened, if that happened, that's where I'm looking at the players, because even in that League Cup final, you could say the moments went for City. I could bring you examples like at Anfield where psychologically, I don't know if Szoboszlai is going to go and put in that free kick, but you can kind of see the tide turning. I mentioned Man United as well. One of the best games I feel in the Premier League that I've seen from my football club would be Newcastle away. I think we reacted to refereeing decisions. We've obviously going to go down with individuals making mistakes, with people coming off the bench and making the difference. At a push, I'd probably say City at the Emirates, but then I kind of discount that myself because we was chasing the game. I feel there's another edge to come from these players psychologically. I see a few of them, but that needs to be everyone.
And by the way, you know, the neutrals might hate Arsenal. Goodness me. Thanks to you guys in this victory this evening, the Premier League is now guaranteed to have at least 5 teams officially next season in the Champions League, according to the great Dale Johnson. So thank you, Arsenal, for looking after us. Thank you for making
Chelsea
sure
fans,
that
Liverpool
you are
fans.
through. Brentford, Everton. Hey, who else? They might have a chance.
Arsenal saving the
And
day.
Liverpool.
Come on,
You are
no worries,
absolutely
man.
well done.
No worries.
I can't reach you. My team are going to need 5th place this season to get
No
Champions League
problem.
football. So, hey,
We might have just kept Arne Slot in the job.
oh no.
dear.
People say they hate Arsenal, but they're the ones saving us all, Abby, aren't they?
Yeah, man.
Not me. Not I. No one can save us. Only God. It's in God's hands at this point.
I don't even think.
I'm so not ready to come back into this. Like I've had the nicest few weeks
Abby,
off of Spurs.
Would you rather
Oh, here we go. These always do well on social media.
we win nothing,
Let's go viral.
we win nothing but you get relegated, or we win the league but you stay up?
Great question.
Neither.
No, not the answer. You have to answer.
I've been asked it before.
Well, answer then.
I don't have an answer.
Just tell us.
Well, it's more likely that you're going to win the league.
That wasn't
but
the question.
Keep working on.
Obviously, I don't know.
You don't want relegation under any circumstances.
Well, like I said, I've kind of come to terms with EFL Abbey.
We've won
So
the
like,
league
it's
at
going to be
your-
quite
we've
fun.
won the league at your ground.
Yeah, I know,
like, at
twice.
this rate, it's-
Twice.
Yes.
No, obviously, I would have to have us stay in the league. Someone asked me the other day if it was Sol Campbell who kept you in the league, would you have him as your gaffer? And I was like, well, whoever's going to keep us up, then I'd have to just say yeah.
That would be some story, wouldn't it?
That would be.
Sol Campbell returned to Spurs as manager to keep them up.
Unbelievable.
By the way, they keep on showing that Raya replay from that save
Yeah.
where he sort of
This
makes the initial save, gets up and saves it. It is genuinely world class. And that assist from Martinelli gets better and better the more times you look at it.
Lovely assist.
Oh, it's beautiful, Abby, isn't it? The way he just cuts in, goes past the player like he's not even there. And then he has to time that pass, doesn't he? The weight of the pass, CJ, to absolute perfection.
That is so. That's so close.
This is what annoys me, right? So that's his arm they've highlighted. But you're not allowed to score with your arm.
That's why he's onside, because you can't score.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
know, but I'm just like,
But had it been slightly further back and captured that much of the sleeve,
Yes,
he'd have been offside.
Exactly. I don't like this.
I always think the sleeve
I don't
thing
want the
is
last
very
30 seconds to
subjective.
be,
Can I
offside. We're off air. And let's end on a real positive.
Okay.
In 10 seconds.